Good morning. Thanks for tuning into my Facebook Live video. I want to talk for a few minutes this morning about wowing your donors, about really winning the heart of your donors. And I often say that in fundraising, you can't script service. You really can't just say, okay, as an organization, here's our protocol, here's our procedure, here's how we handle these things. We have to focus less on what we do and more on who we are. And we focus on who we are by loving our donors. It starts with the heart. Like if you don't love your donors, if you don't actually view them as human beings and not just as wallets with people attached, you can never deliver the kind of service that I'm talking about. All right, so we talk about the thank you process, and I often ask organizations I work with, are you thanking your donors? And they'll show me some Xerox gift receipt that they are sending to their donors with the amount of the donation filled in. That's not what I'm talking about. Listen, sending a gift receipt is only your ante. All right, sending someone the IRS required receipt for their donation is the ante that gives you a seat at the table. If you're not doing that, you're not even in the game. But how do we win the game? What's your ace that allows you to win the game? And that is surprise and delight. It's going above and beyond. It's doing the things that your donor doesn't really expect that warms their heart. And often it's the little touches, the things that a donor couldn't even put their finger on. I mean, if you think about your best customer service experiences with different businesses you've interacted with, I would say, I would venture a guess that it's often the little details that you could not even quite put your finger on that really make an experience that you have with the business go from good to great. And so I want you to think through your work and think through the way you thank your donors and the way you interact with your donors, and ask yourself, what are the little details that I can add to this that will separate my organization from every other organization that my donors give to. My goal in working with donors to an organization is always that they would get more joy out of giving to me, out of giving to my organization, than they could get out of giving to any other organization. They should get more joy out of giving to us than they could get out of doing anything else with their money, charitable or otherwise. They should get more joy out of giving to us than they could get out of giving to that organization, right? But they should also get more joy out of giving to us than they could get out of buying a new boat or remodeling their house, all right? That's the experience that I want to deliver. All right, so there's a great story on the internet. You can look it up. It's called Johnny the Bagger. It's about this grocery store chain that hired a consultant and this consultant came in and was talking with the employees about providing uplifting experiences that enrich people's daily lives. And this bagger at the grocery store named Johnny was trying to figure out how he could possibly uplift the lives of the customers. Johnny had Down syndrome and was a bagger at this grocery store. And he thought about it, and he decided that he was going to insert a little thought for the day in every bag of groceries that he bagged throughout the day. And at night he would go home and he would look at the internet for a thought for the day, and he said if he couldn't find one that he liked, he would just make one up. And his dad would help him format these on a Word document, a word processing document. They'd print them out and cut them up, so he'd go to work every day with a big stack of little thoughts for the day. And he said that he would put these in the bag, the final bag that he bagged for all of his customers, and then say, have a nice day. Long story short, one day the manager of the grocery store saw a line going down the frozen food section of the grocery store and was trying to open up other lanes. And the customer said, no, that's okay. We want to be in Johnny's line. We want to get a stock for the day. And the manager said that Johnny's heart, his desire to serve the people who came into that grocery store, literally transformed the store. All right, so little side story. I'm going to come back to Johnny in a minute, but a little side story. I have this long-term goal to visit every major league ballpark, and it's a long-term goal that I don't take super seriously. I haven't been to a new major league ballpark in several years, but I've been to maybe 15, 18 major league ballparks. My absolute favorite major league ballpark that I've ever visited is Petco Park in San Diego. And I was trying to figure out what it was that I loved about Petco Park. You know, is it the architecture? Was it the way it was incorporated into the old town San Diego? Was it the ocean view? What was it that I loved about Petco Park? And I couldn't quite put my finger on it, because everything that I thought about in terms of Petco Park, I could find at another ballpark somewhere else. You know, I was like, well, they have this at Camden Yards and they have this at PNC Park. I couldn't quite figure it out. So a few years ago, I was at a conference, and the same consulting firm that had been hired by this grocery store chain had also been hired by Petco Park. This consulting firm had asked the employees at Petco Park, how can you deliver memorable customer experiences? You know, how can you truly love the guests, the fans who are coming in to Petco Park? And before every ball game at Petco Park, when they're having all their pre-game meetings, you know, the hot dog vendors are meeting over here, the ticket takers are meeting over here, they end every meeting by saying, will you be a Johnny today? You know, Johnny the bagger. And when I thought about it, I was like, man, that's what I love about Petco Park. It wasn't the architecture, it wasn't the ocean view, it wasn't the way it was incorporated into the old town San Diego. It was, all right, it was all those things mattered. But what truly separated Petco Park from me wasn't those things. It was the way I was treated there. It was that everyone wanted me to have a fabulous experience, and they were treating me not just as a wallet with a human attached, but as a human being. And so that's the challenge that I want to leave with you today as you interact with your donors. Will you be a Johnny today? You know, what can you do to truly serve your donors and make sure your donors understand how much you appreciate their support, but not just how much you appreciate their support, how much you truly appreciate them as a human being. So go out there and be a Johnny today. All right. By the way, if you haven't yet, go check out my masterclass. Go to majorgiftsfundraiser.com to learn more about this program that I believe can truly transform your Major Gifts fundraising operation. So again, check out majorgiftsfundraiser.com for more information on that. And if this video was helpful to you, leave a comment. This is the first time I've done a Facebook Live video from this page. So if you liked it, please comment or share. All right, take care.